Jacob,
Yes.
I'm sad.
Yes. Please elaborate.
I made an amazing TikTok last night and I posted it before I went to bed.
Yes.
And before I went to bed, I stayed up for an extra 20 minutes and it had about 250 views by the time I went to bed and about 50 likes. And I'm like, that's like 1 in every 5 person
It's not bad.
that liked it. I'm like, I'm going to wake up and be TikTok famous. And I woke up and we had 300 views and about 55 likes. So...
Okay, the ratio went down a little bit.
It's still 1 in every 6 people.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I think that if you scale this to 1,000 people, I would have a lot more likes. And if 1 million people saw this, I would be TikTok famous.
Have you checked
What?
since this morning?
Well, let me check right now.
Yeah.
But
Because who knows? Maybe those numbers are big.
No, look, I don't think I'm TikTok famous just yet.
No, not yet. Not. Yeah. It's a long and hard road to be TikTok famous.
I have 54 likes and 312 views.
You lost a like.
Well, I'm upset now. I'm sad now. Why do you got to do this to me?
I just had to call you out.
But that's all right. Well, let's just get into the show before I cry. So, welcome back to the Regular Size Man podcast. My name is Sam, and as always, I am joined by my brilliant co-host, Jacob. How are we doing this week, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you, Sam?
I'm pretty good, thank you, my friend. Pretty good. Just, same old, really. Same old.
Yes. How was your week?
Still not
Let's
TikTok
get into
famous. I worked a lot of hours, and same old shit, really.
Yeah.
I worked a bunch.
Bit of an average week.
Yeah,
Bit of an average week.
Yeah, look, honestly, what else happened? Something happened, but I forgot. I just worked. That's all I'm just saying. I worked a lot of hours. I'm expecting a big paycheck tonight.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Gonna binge watch some more shows and just that's my week. How about yourself?
I think honestly the same. I feel like I didn't do anything, but then I also feel like I did. You know when there's like that lingering feeling in the back of your mind where you're like, you did watch something or you did do something? That's me at the moment, and I feel like I did, but I don't know if I did.
Fair enough.
So let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get through The Office and Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
All before I can start on The Mandalorian and any other shows that I need to watch.
Well, you need to finish The Office so we can go to the trivia night.
Yes, there is an Office trivia night coming up soon, and I need to be ready to go to that.
You do. You need to watch it another time as well before we go.
We're cancelling the podcast. I'm watching The Office all night.
I'm going to. We'll do an episode by episode review.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
Done deal. I'll watch it tonight. Fine.
Don't you mean Dundee's?
I like that.
Thank you.
All I want is a Dundee in my life.
Let's make our own. Regular size. Well, you know what we should do? Just on the spot here. We should do our own award show at the end of the year.
You know what?
Next month.
I'm actually...
Movie of the year.
In all seriousness, I'm all in on that.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
Okay, all right. We're calling it right here, all right? The regular size awards...
We'll think of a name.
Working title. But the regular size awards.
The regulars.
We'll do. I like that. We'll do that. We'll do like favorite movie for each of us, like best action movie, best retro movie that we've seen this year, something like that. We'll do something.
We're gonna do
something exciting, something cool.
The regulars are coming soon to a podcasting space near you.
Yeah. So stay keen, stay excited, stay alert.
All right. So also on this high of great calls, we should move into the podcast.
We should, yes.
Before we start talking a bit more and ruin it for ourselves. So to start, we have our box office update. Frozen 2 came out over the weekend. I didn't know about this. You didn't know about this.
I knew it was coming, just not now.
Yeah, I didn't. All of us knew that the movie was coming, but I didn't know that it came out last weekend. And boy, did it come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Frozen
it arrived.
2, It froze the box office, as they would say. And the only reason that joke is justified is because it made 130 million worldwide domestically and 358.2 million worldwide in the opening weekend.
It's a lot of money.
Yes.
And it's more than I have.
Same. I think if we put our money together, it would still be more than we have.
Yeah, I think if I bought 2 tickets, it'd be more money than I have.
Take off the million and it'd still be more than I have.
Correct.
It actually did break the record for the biggest global opening of an animated film. So that previous record was to Toy Story with 240.9 million in the weekend. This did an extra 100 mil.
Yeah,
in the weekend,
handedly as well.
So hats off to Frozen 2. I actually want to see this movie. The reviews that came in said it was better than the original, so I definitely want to go see it and see what it's like.
Yeah, I couldn't really care. I don't know. No, actually, that's not true. I've seen the first, and like it's nice. It's just
I like the first, yeah.
it doesn't tug at my heartstrings. So I'm probably not gonna see the second.
Did you watch the sing-along version?
There's a sing-along version.
There's a sing-along version.
Is it the one they play in the cinemas where everybody can get up and stuff?
I don't know. I just know that there's a sing-along version.
I did
That's
not,
the one I watched.
I do not think I watched the sing-along version.
Well, that's where your problems lie.
Is it just the normal version with you singing?
No comment.
Because in that case, I will watch the sing-along version.
Oh no,
that's pretty good though. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, definitely. This will definitely beat. I reckon it'll beat the first one in terms of the box office.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
The first one box office about 1.4 billion, I think it was.
Yeah.
So or 1.2 or 1.4, I forget the top of my head.
Yeah, and that just gained money after, like, because the first week no one really cared that much about it, and then
everyone was like, "Holy shit, this movie's great!
Yeah,
let's go see it." Yeah, but this movie, like me and you, I mean, in the scopes and the spaces that we look into, there was no really advertisements for it. Even like at work, because I get bored at work when I start at like 6:45 in the morning. I chuck on the Today Show on one of the TVs we have. Didn't see any advertisements on the TV either. Nothing really around. So
no, likewise.
Don't know what they've done.
Didn't see on any buses or
nothing. Yeah, no buses, no billboards. They're just kind of like, here's this movie. 350 mil later.
Dude, it made double what Dark Phoenix made in a weekend, and Dark Phoenix was out for a month at least.
Don't say that. That's heartbreaking.
So
poor X-Men.
Disney just notched up another win for themselves.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And week after Disney Plus 2,
yeah,
they're racking it in.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Speaking of Jesus, Cats 2 dropped another trailer. Or Cats dropped their second trailer.
My God, I don't know if I even want to get into this.
We're doing it.
It's horrifying. It's so terrible, like so terrifying. We talked about it like when the first one came out, which I don't know how long ago. That was a while ago. It was a long time ago, but
it's just the character. They changed some of the character models. So
did they?
They took fur off the hands or the paws, if you want to call it, of the people.
Yeah. What are we calling it?
Furries.
No, don't do that.
But yeah, long and short of it, they released the second trailer, and it did not make the movie any more appealing for me. I just kind of feel like I'm not even joking here. I feel it's unsettling to me. I don't feel good when I watch this trailer. It's a bit creepy.
Taylor Swift shimmied her cat boobs.
Don't say that.
Who wants that?
Swifties do.
Swifties? Who saw? But like, who greenlit this, man? Like, they look horrible. I don't like. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I genuinely like. Okay, watching the first Sonic trailer, you obviously go, what the hell's happened here? Like, why would you do this? Watching this, like, I'm genuinely, like, this isn't a joke anymore. I don't know who was like, this is a good design.
I mean,
who thought that was a good idea?
Like, turning a movie into a musical isn't a bad idea, but turning a musical into a movie is
tricky.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Because people that go to see plays and theatre are unique people. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They're just like, it's a niche.
I think so, yes.
And movies aren't really a niche. Everybody goes to see... a large majority of people do go to see movies. So...
Popular date.
Yeah.
Popular date. It's a popular date. That's what I'd go.
Yeah, I don't know. So...
It's very... Look, I think you can make a musical successful as a movie. And I'm not saying you couldn't do it with this one. I just think they just
bringing
stepped
cats
horribly.
to real life is a bad idea.
Bringing cats to yeah, and making them half cat, half human. That was probably the biggest mistake they could have done.
Garfield is the only animated cat I want in my life.
Garfield is the only, yeah. Bill Murray voicing. I'm happy with that.
No, I don't know. It's just
it's
go
disturbing.
watch a trailer.
Go watch a trailer.
Yeah,
it's disturbing.
It's just, I don't think... Should we go watch it for a review? Like, I don't want to, but I feel like at the same time, I feel like we're going to shit on this movie so much. I feel like we should go give it the benefit of the doubt.
See, here's the thing, man. I don't know if we should, because I don't know enough about the original Cats musical to even, like, have any scope of reference when watching this.
It's a good point.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a good point.
Because it could be really good and really, like, true to the story. But I'm not going to get over how they look.
Yeah.
Ever.
Can you imagine sitting there for 2 hours just staring at James Corden as a big kitty going...
I already do that when I watch The Late Late Show. I like James Corden. He's actually quite funny.
Yeah, no, same. It's just... Not as a cat.
He
can be human.
Not as a cat.
I don't know. I think Taylor Swift will be... Like,
I think she'll be good.
The movie goers, the people who are going to go see this movie, is 50% for Taylor Swift and 50% of people who actually enjoyed the musical.
And
I think that'll be the split.
Yeah, maybe even chuck like 5% for cat lovers.
Crazy cat ladies, yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see. And before we get... Cats has actually reminded me of going back to what we did in this week.
Yeah.
I shaved my beard. I don't know how I forgot to talk about this.
Yeah.
So, if you guys don't know...
I did just notice that, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it before.
If you guys don't know, if you haven't seen me, go look me up on Instagram. I'm in the bio of the TSM podcast Instagram. I have a beard, and I've had a beard since I left high school, because in high school I couldn't have a beard. And so I vowed to myself that I would never shave again. Well, I shaved my beard and I left a mustache, and somebody told me I look like Henry Cavill with the mustache. So I'm leaving it at that. So that
and as I said to you, I don't think that's incorrect. I think that's actually quite correct.
You know how happy that's made me? It's almost made me as happy as when someone told me I look like Shawn Mendes. And, you know, my life has peaked and I'm never going back. I'm never going back.
I don't agree with Shawn Mendes.
Alright,
I'm not going to lie to you. I can't agree with the Shawn Mendes one.
Damn, okay. Well, that's a bit sad. That's okay. Well, yeah, that's that. And also, shout out to Brian. He ditched us for Star Wars. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
That's what we're not saying anything else.
He booked us tickets. I want to do it. I'm going to call him out. He booked us tickets for Star Wars and for this second day it comes out, and now he's not even coming anymore. He bailed on us. So
he booked the tickets for us. He did all our work for us, and then he's not coming. Yeah. So, I mean, thanks, Brian, for booking our tickets. Yep. Alrighty. So, it's our favourite time of the week, mainly because I get to do this buzzer every week. Rumour mill time. So, let me start because I know nothing about this one. So, Black Adam will reportedly feature Dr. Fate as the antagonist. Now, who is Dr. Fate, Jacob?
Dr. Fate is a doctor of sorts. He's like this being in this helmet, and like when you put it on, he kind of takes over your body and your pet. Like you can talk to him and you're kind of in this different state, but you don't have control of your body and what happens. He's extremely powerful. He lives by the phrase of, so he wants everything to be equal within the world.
Like Thanos.
Essentially, yeah, he's a Thanos character. But yeah, like it's really interesting that he'll be with Black Adam because Black Adam has Black Adam's associated with a lot of like Egyptian history, and Dr. Fate is somewhat tied into that. So I'm keen to see him in it. But yeah, that's kind of who he is. If you want a good reference point, go watch Justice League Dark, the animated movie. He's in that. He's in Young Justice. There's an episode of Young Justice he's in. So go watch that for reference points if you want to have a bit of a look at him before the movie.
I might actually go do that.
Please do. Yeah, it's good.
Right.
It's a good watch.
Fantastic.
Okay, number 2, Chris Evans will reportedly not feature in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series on Disney+. Sam, do you think this is the right move by not including him as the original Captain America?
Yes, right move.
Okay, why?
It's kind of like the thing with Robert Downey Jr. I think it's just kind of like they've had their time and they ended on a good note. We don't need to bring them back. And also, in this series, as we discussed before, they've had the on-set photos of the government introducing their Captain America, Sam going to be Captain America. Another rumor we're going to be getting into in a little bit about another guy wanting to be... Everybody wants to be Captain America. You don't need the original to stay there. He can just go and live his life as Old Man Rogers with Peggy and be happy with it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
I saw a theory about this one, about Captain America. You know, it's like, you know how he goes back for Peggy?
Yeah.
Peggy is going to think a whole life that it's the Steve Rogers who, like, went. It's not the same Steve Rogers that she fell in love with. It's just...
Steve Rogers.
It's just a Steve Rogers from the future.
Yeah, but it's still Steve Rogers.
I know, this is confusing. It gets very confusing.
But he did fall in love with her too.
This is true. I don't know. Ignore me.
Where were you going with that?
I saw some chick on Twitter try and say that it's wrong, and I'm like... Shut up.
She's wrong. She's wrong. I hate to burst the bubble, but she's wrong.
Yes, fantastic. We're bursting it here. It has been bursted. So, continuing on with the Falcon and Winter Soldier rumors, getting to what I was talking about, Battlestar, aka the 5th Bucky in the comics, will debut in this series. So, real name Lamar Haskins. He was originally going to don the mantle of Captain America, but instead they were like, nah, you're going to be Bucky instead, essentially. So later changing his name to Battlestar. So with all these additions to the cast, are you a real fan of this casting? And really going back to the Captain America thing, do you think that this is like introducing this character adds more reason to not include Captain America or not include Chris Evans.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it definitely does lend to that. I'm kind of interested to see like what role he plays. Maybe because obviously we know US Agent is coming, and we know who's playing US Agent. So I'm kind of interested to see if maybe like Lamar Haskins is sort of someone that's trying to get the Captain America role and competes with I can't remember his name, but the guy that gets the US Agent.
I think it's Jonathan.
Yeah, I think so too. Something like that. Who gets the US Agent position? If it is that, that's awesome to see. So you'll see like two people fighting for Captain America, two people fighting to be US Agent. So I'd like to see that. But again, it'll also be interesting to see if he becomes the next Bucky and eventually Battlestar. But
Yeah.
I like it. I definitely.
Same. I think John Walker's his name.
That's right.
Basically, US Agent is the person that the government choose to be Captain America instead of Sam. So.
Yeah. Look, it's gonna go. I mean, I have high hopes of the series. So, like, however they do it, it'll be interesting and really cool to watch. And I think that's a good way to do it. Have kind of two reflecting duos battle it out to be the US's number one soldier.
Hell yeah! All right, fantastic. I accidentally exited the buzzer sound, but don't worry, I'm bringing it back.
Sweet. All right, and the final rumor for the week. There's been a bit of talk that J.J. Abrams could be directing the newest Superman movie. When, how, why, I don't know when it's coming out. Got no news about it. But Sam, what are your thoughts on this?
So since we actually wrote this podcast or wrote these notes, he has been asked about it, and he did say we haven't had those discussions yet. So we can technically leave this as a rumor as well, like still, because hasn't been.
He said yet. He said yet, and yet is a very key word in the sentence.
Yes, so I like the idea. I think J.J. Abrams kind of has that creative mind and, pro-esque, especially with like the announcement that he was going to be writing a Spider-Man comic book earlier this year.
Oh, he did it.
Like
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, sorry, yeah.
Having
yeah,
that,
yeah.
Having that kind of creativity to be able to write a comic book, I feel like takes a lot of talent. And I think that he just kind of understands the whole like superhero, like the whole hero like type of storyline and what they want to achieve.
I know exactly.
Superman is a harder character, I will admit, is a harder character to do or to make a good movie out of compared to other heroes, in my opinion.
Yep.
Because he's invincible.
See, I feel like Spider-Man and Superman, while they don't get me wrong, they're very different characters. I feel like they parallel quite well. I feel like it's not that hard of a step to go from writing Spider-Man to writing Superman, because you've got Spider-Man who's always trying to do good. However, he's juggling his life as Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And while he's young, and that obviously differs from Superman, Superman's obviously trying to do the best that he can. And like as we've seen in the current DCEU, like we've seen his vulnerability and his, I suppose, kind of human element to him. So I think it's an easy transition. Well, not easy, but it's a smoother transition from Spider-Man to Superman than any other character that they could have done. But what do you think on that?
I mean, you're not wrong. The only thing is, Spider-Man's vulnerable, Superman's a lot less vulnerable. Like, me and you, we could develop a whole super suit if we had 130 million from Frozen 2's opening, and, we could compete with Spider-Man. Whereas, if we tried to do that to Superman, Superman would use his eyes and disintegrate us. So, yeah. I mean, it's more, I think writing the actual story of it wouldn't be too hard. The difference between Spider-Man and Superman, but the whole enemy factor of it, like that enemy side of who he fights and the reason and his motives, that's a bit harder for Superman. But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're wrong with that at all. No, not at all. I think it'd be a very grounded story.
Yeah.
Just because I think J.J. Abrams would like to do something like that. So I don't know who do you do for the villain, but
also that's the question. That's for another day. This is just the rumor mill, and we're ending it off. Fantastic. So, a little segment we're gonna do, a little like 1 week with Disney Plus. We want to kind of give our little review 1 week after, because I don't know if I talked about it last podcast about my thoughts on it or my concerns with Disney Plus.
I think we had a brief conversation about it. It wasn't in full into depth, and at that point we'd only had it for a couple days.
It was coming out the day after we recorded the podcast.
That's right.
So
that's right.
We
Yes.
had it before last week's episode.
Oh, that's right.
And one thing I was saying to Jacob, I don't know whether I said it on the podcast or not, so I'm just going to say it again. My whole concern with Disney Plus was that it's like, what does it have to offer besides the whole novelty of having the old Disney shows on there? I mean, we have The Mandalorian. Don't get me wrong. We have The Mandalorian, and I've not watched it yet. I apologize, but I've heard it is amazing.
I can attest it is.
Yeah, The Simpsons are on there, and that's amazing. But
again, it is.
Yes, I can attest to that too. I've been watching it with Kayla. But after that, what do you really have?
That's a good point. Do you want to keep going, or do you want my 2 cents for a second, or
I'll just finish this
yeah.
rant. Like the night I got it, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, and I went to watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I watched Recess, and I watched Hannah Montana. I was like, this is my childhood. And I was watching this, and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of bored. I won't even lie. I'm kind of bored. And then, you know, I don't think I've really used it since besides The Simpsons. And I'm kind of like to myself, what do I have? Like, why? What should I be excited for here?
Well, I mean, I think the nostalgia factor wears off after a day, probably. For most people, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I was a little... I didn't really have that concern until you raised it last week, actually, about, like, what do you have after that? And it is a real concern. The day... I think that the first episodes were available for The Mandalorian straight away for us. And after I watched them, I found myself a bit like, where do I go now? Not that I didn't have things to watch. I just felt like... Obviously, it's Disney. So, the young adult kind of shows or movies are quite scarce. So for us personally, I think it is a bit more difficult to kind of find these other things to watch. And when, like, if I'm just getting home after a long day at work or something like that, I don't want to go and put like Captain Marvel on or something like that. Like, I want to be able to watch a TV show where I can just tune out maybe a little bit, you know, like as I rest, or just, you know, something like that. And it doesn't really have a whole lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, like, we were talking about Apple TV Plus the other day, and we were slamming it because it only had 6 shows.
Yeah, we were.
And Disney Plus have pretty much just fabricated 2 shows.
I don't think fabricated.
Not fabricated.
I think you know what I think it is. I think everyone got lost in the excitement of what's to come.
Yeah.
So it kind of clouded. And don't get me wrong, Disney Plus is a good streaming service, and I do think for $9 a month, it is worth it. It definitely is. There's a lot on it to enjoy for everybody. But I think it does just harp back onto the fact that, yeah, like, I think particularly for people that our age, it's a bit dry.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good way to put it. It's a bit dry, and I think that maybe in a year or 2, when they start to bring out more shows, it'll be better. But at the moment, I'm kind of struggling to find things to watch on there. I mean, sure, like, you know, you can go watch a good old Toy Story here and there, but are you going to do that on a daily basis compared to going to Netflix or Stan and watching The Office or what other sitcom or other good TV show? Like, you know, if I want a good TV show with a good storyline, Netflix is probably my way to turn. If I want a sitcom, I usually go to Stan because it has The Office or Friends or whatever. You know, and Disney Plus doesn't have that thing for me yet. Besides that whole novelty, which is kind of worn off, and it's not going to be a place where I turn to for for my thing. Like, you know, sometimes if I want to sit down and watch, you know, I'm watching Umbrella Academy at the moment, for example, you know, I'm going to turn to Netflix, go watch the Umbrella Academy. And when that's done, I'll probably watch, like, Stranger Things or something. You know what I mean? Like, I know that Netflix will always have a decent show for me.
No, you raise a good point with that.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
So I haven't found the need for Disney Plus for me at the moment, which is... It's good and bad because I want to keep it. Sorry, I'm going to end this now. Like, I want to keep it for, like, Disney movies, like, you know, Toy Story, and I want to get The Mandalorian and everything. But at the moment, I'm still trying to work out how I rank it from 0 to 10 and, like, how much I actually enjoy it.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Once we briefly talked about this last week, I was a little bit nervous that I was going to be like, there's nothing on here for me. But I've kind of since changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lot more positive about it than I was, and I find myself, while I still have those kind of fears that after 2 months, am I going to give a shit about this streaming service? I'm still optimistic and still like, oh, this is okay. I think.
Yeah.
If it didn't have The Simpsons, like, once The Mandalorian was done, I probably wouldn't resubscribe.
Yeah.
But I'm more positive about it all, and I think I do appreciate it a bit more. But I need Netflix and Stan alongside it. I think.
I don't think it can be your sole like streaming service.
Unless you're a family, I
Yeah.
think you could do it. And you know, and unless you're a family and the parents aren't really into, like watching TV shows or movies that have real themes about it. I suppose you could do it, but it's a tricky spot, and like obviously Disney are a really big company, so you'd think, I don't know, they must have some idea of this. Maybe.
I think Marvel's their whole like driving force with this one. The Marvel shows and everything else.
Yeah.
It'll probably bring back subscriptions after. They'll probably have a dip in subscriptions, but then I think it'll pick up again next year eventually.
Well, I did talk to Brian about this as well, and I was saying to him, like, I think I'm going to start the Jeff Goldblum series. Because he's an interesting person, and I think it'll be an interesting show. So I'll probably start watching that, and maybe if some of the documentaries are okay, I'll start watching a few of those. But we'll see how it goes. It's only 1 week in. We'll probably give an update after a little bit more time. But yeah, look, so far I'm okay. I mean, they also have the Marvel shows, which you can watch as well, like Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever. So like, they also are options. If I want to get my Marvel on. But I don't want to watch Marvel all the time. That's the other thing. Yeah. So like sometimes I just want to watch something that's got nothing to do with that at all, whether it's superhero or not. It's really, you got to be in a mood for Disney Plus, and that's what I've found. I found that too. Yeah. I can tune in and tune out on The Simpsons, and I'm happy to do that, but Simpsons only has so much. So that is true. This is true. Alrighty. Cool. So, anything else you'd like to add to Disney Plus? Okay. A final stance, final comment for the jury? Happy for the time being, and probably will be happy for a while. It's fun, but I think the nostalgia wears off after a week. Yeah. Similar. Yeah. Alright, cool. So, moving on to going back to Avengers. We don't want Avengers all the time, but we have Avengers for this moment here. So, Sean S. Cage, I think that's his name. That's great pronunciation. You've been on fire today. Usually you'd have a bit of a trip up with some of the words, but you're doing well today. Thank you. We still got a bit to go. we still got a bit to go, so let's hold our hats. Yeah. So Shawnee Boy, creative director for Marvel's Avengers, the PS4, Xbox One, and PC game, coming out in May 2020. Do you want me to say it now? No, it's okay. I got this. Quoted, unless you want to say the quote. No, you can do it. Okay. So he was quoted saying, "There's a lot of potential for many characters to enter this world. What I will say is there is always potential." So my question to you, Jacob, is what characters do you expect they're going to add, and what would you want to have? What characters would you love to have in the game? Keep in mind that Hank Pym is in this game already, so you can't enter him. Okay. My expectation for characters, I think Hawkeye is a no-brainer. I think Black Panther, more than likely. I think Wasp, probably, because you've got Ant-Man. I think... So it's kind of a tough one, isn't it? I don't know how expansive they're going to be with the universe. Because, like... Yeah, I don't know how expansive... Can you think of, like... anyone at all? Maybe Captain Marvel? Yeah. But then I feel like... you probably got Miss Marvel, so why bother? Yeah, it's a tough question. Because, while it's a game, you obviously don't want to have too much going on at the same time. Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, I think they'll add Spider-Man as a PS4 exclusive. I think they'll pull some shit like that, and they'll add the Spider-Man from the game. So do you think they'll make an Xbox One exclusive then? No. Okay. That's interesting. I think you've got to... I think it could be possible. I don't know if it's going to be, but I think it could be possible. It'd be an interesting way to do it. I think there'd be a lot of outrage if they did that. Oh, there would be. Like, to not have Spider-Man in it, if you're going to include it for, like, half the people. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. It has been theorized for a while. However, they've kind of got a bit of a thing with PS4 at the moment, like a play first on PS4. Like, the ads have been running through PS4, like through PlayStation. So I'm not too sure what they're going to do, but I agree with you. I think Black Panther will definitely be a no-brainer. I think that, maybe Shang-Chi, when the movie comes out next year. Possibly. I think they'll probably do, what's it called? Fantastic Four? Or X-Men, maybe? No, I think they'll go Fantastic Four. I mean, yeah, I think it really depends on how long they're going to be supporting this game for. That's a good point. Because I think they'll be supporting it and adding content for about 1.5 to 2 years. I'm being generous. From what they've said, I think they will. Yeah, I think you're probably right with that. I mean, they have the potential to do so much, obviously, because it's Marvel. There's so many characters, so they can do whatever they want. And I think in a year to a year and a half is a reasonable time limit for a game, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think they'll add a character within 6 months. Hopefully Hawkeye.
I'd imagine it'd be within 3 months.
Yeah.
At least one within 3 months, surely.
You'd hope so,
But by
again,
August next year, I would have thought they'd have one more person in.
Hawkeye.
Probably Hawkeye, which isn't the most exciting one, but it's
I'd love Hawkeye in the game.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool, but it's not.
He deserves
It's not. Yeah, but it wouldn't be who I'd be paying my money for.
That's
like
true.
if it was only Hawkeye, I'd be kind of disappointed.
Would you pay for a Black Widow game?
Like just Black Widow?
Yep.
Maybe, because I think you could make a good game out of that.
True.
Maybe, but I feel like it would be without the. I don't know if you. I don't know. It might just feel like any other RP. Not RP. First person shooter.
With Black Widow.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'd get really around that. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I'm not kicking down doors for it. Kicking down windows, mate.
Don't do that.
I'm kicking down windows. I'm a dangerous man.
You can pay for the damage in my house. So thank you very much.
Just for the Black Widow game. That's all
I think
want
Black
from
Panther's probably the strongest candidate for it to be added though.
I would be surprised if he doesn't. There's just so many connections though. Like it's
that's true.
Plus black representation.
Maybe Ant-Man probably. Is Ant-Man in the game? I don't even.
Ant-Man's in the game. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. He's just not in the original Avengers. At the start.
Yeah.
But he's in the game. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I don't know how big the universe is going to be as well. They got
Ms. Marvel. That's a oddball one. So maybe She-Hulk and Moon Knight. Let's just add the whole Disney Plus TV show lineup. Honestly, it's probably the best way wouldn't
to
be
do it.
surprised if they did it.
If they did that, oh my god, man, they'd be stealing so much money from me.
Yeah, look,
I'd lose a lot of money.
They drop a new trailer and say, "Hey, you can also play this character next week."
I'd cry. I'd probably cry. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the way.
There's just so much. Yeah, I'd probably have a panic attack.
See, I'm a genius at marketing. I just want to put that out there.
This is because you just give people what everybody wants. That's
exactly.
Why. But you don't have you're not thinking about money costs and shit like that. You're just let's just do it. Let's just do it.
If I offered the character in the game for $10, and 100,000 people bought that for $10, because I'm sure you'd buy She-Hulk for $10
as a DLC.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly. With story missions and stuff.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I paid $10 for the DLC from Spider-Man, so probably.
Yeah, $10 times that by 100,000 people, you're making your money back. 100,000.
$10, 100,000.
Yeah,
that's a million. Oh yeah.
Yeah, $1 million.
Yeah, it's a good way to get money.
I give the people what they want. Marketing is my game.
No matter how you put it, I get them what they want.
I get money, acquire currency, satisfy people.
Let's leave that one. So should we move on?
I think we should.
I think we've run that one dry. Let's move on.
We've run that one dry.
We've definitely run that one
dry. The
dry.
campaign's done. Alrighty, so this one's actually an interesting topic. So it's about Henry Cavill and his role with Superman. So Man of Steel, which was Henry Cavill's solo movie, came out in 2012. He then followed with with Batman v Superman, Justice League, and there was one other movie which I've forgotten.
No?
No,
not with Superman.
Okay, well, anyway.
That's it.
He's had the 3 movies, and there has been no talk since the 3rd movie, The Justice League, about a solo film, about him appearing in another film, because remember, at the end of Shazam, spoilers, Superman does appear alongside Shazam, but...
No head.
No, there was no head on that.
No confirmation it was Henry Cavill.
So no head? You know the Vine?
Yeah,
okay, cool. But, okay, hopefully people understand that. Anyway, so long and short of it, it's up in the air about whether Henry Cavill is going to be Superman again, whether they're going to continue down the path of going with this Superman. Nothing. There's been nothing. But Henry Cavill had an interview with Men's Health. I think it was. Was it Men's Health?
I think it was Men's Health.
Yeah, Men's Health. And basically, this was the quote that he said about Superman. I've not given up the role yet. There's a lot I have to give for Superman. A lot of storytelling to do. A lot of real, true depth to the honesty of the character I want to get into. I want to reflect the comic books, and that's important to me. There's a lot of justice to be for Superman. Insert Justice League pun. The status is, you'll see. So, he is he's very passionate about playing Superman. I think he loves him as a character, and he does want to continue playing him. But are they going to Jared Leto him?
I don't know if they'll Jared Leto him. I think they'll have serious conversations with him. I don't, because from my understanding, with the whole Jared Leto thing, it's just they didn't even talk to him about it. I would be surprised if they didn't talk to Henry Cavill at the very least, whether they just tell him that they're going to go in another direction. I don't know if they will though, because obviously the whole DCEU is up in the air at the moment. We don't really know what's going on. It's connected while not being connected, while also being connected at the same time.
It's a bit like that, isn't it?
It is. So I don't know. I like him as Superman.
So do I.
I am a fan of him. I have no issue with him whatsoever. I think that he acts great in the role. I just think the movie and the rest of the rest of the movie around him, they're just not good. But I don't know. I'd like to see him stay. What do you think?
I liked Man of Steel. I just want to put this out on the record. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
It's average for me.
I enjoyed it. And, I just want to put a quick side note. I think that being cast as Superman is the highest honor of Hollywood. That's just me.
Yeah, I think,
because
probably.
you're pretty much a god. You're being cast as a god.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, yeah.
So, I don't blame Henry Cavill for not wanting to give this up. But, he's got the look for Superman to me. He's got, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't continue to be Superman. I don't know any other actor in Hollywood that I would look at and say, he should be Superman at the moment. You know what I mean?
But, but in saying that, I don't think before anyone gets cast, I don't think you really look at them and go, yep, I can see them as that.
Yeah, but
I didn't look at Robert Pattinson or Ben Affleck before and think, yeah, Batman or Christian Bale.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? I think there's a bit of that to it too.
Oh, of course. But what I'm trying to say is that he's a good Superman and he should just stay.
I agree with you. So so do you want to see him? All right, let's say theoretically they're just kind of screwing the timeline that's already been happened. So after Wonder Woman comes out, we don't let's just disregard whatever happens in Wonder Woman 2, yeah? Mm-hmm. Do you want to see kind of Henry Cavill go in the direction where he's Superman, but it's a different it's not the same Superman that we've seen in Man of Steel. It's a different Superman. It's not necessarily an origin story. It's just a different Superman. Would you rather see that, or would you rather see a Man of Steel 2 and a continuation from the shamble that is the DCEU?
I'd like to see. This is a tough one for me because it's so much of a shamble. I don't know if I want Henry Cavill's legacy as Superman to be ruined by the story and the framework that's been established around him. But then again, I feel like partly going, a different Superman would kind of just fuck with too many people's heads. And I think that'll just be too... I think he's in a bad position here as Superman. It's kind of like, hey... You got a shit, everything around you is pretty bad, but you're good. But, it's like we have a group project and he's the only one doing the work at the moment. You know what I mean?
Okay, here's my thing with it though. I think if you're playing around with the idea of this, I don't think they need to care about people being confused. Because I think that you're at a point right now in cinema when you're talking about superhero movies, the people that want to know understand what's going on, and if you don't understand, you're going to see the movie with someone who understands. And if you don't understand, you probably don't care that much. You're just going to see it because it looks good. Do you know what I mean?
This is true. I mean, theoretically, if we talk about a movie that's going to be coming out maybe 2022, 2023, or 2024, it's 7 years after Justice League, and the people who don't care too much aren't going to know
that's a good point.
Far back as well.
Exactly.
So I think, again, they probably could go in a different direction. And honestly, out of the two options, I'd probably prefer this one, even though it would kind of confuse.
Keep this one. I'd
go in a different direction to Superman.
Yeah, okay.
Because even though it kind of would screw up a little bit, I think if they can do it in a way that doesn't scream, I have no clue what I'm doing, I would be happy.
I think so too. I agree with you too. I would like to see him become a new Superman.
Yeah, there is a risk that comes with that for me. They really show potential of saying, what the fuck are we doing? I have no idea. Because they've done that before. I forgot which movie they've done it with. I think I kind of felt that with Justice League as well. They're kind of a bit like, what are we doing? And I think that's probably the whole Snyder Cut thing as well.
I think it's to do with that, 100%.
But even then, take Zack Snyder out of it, Warner Brothers as a whole kind of show that they don't really know what they're doing half the time. And so...
Well, they don't because they were the ones that told David Ayer to fix Suicide Squad. Or not fix it, but to change everything about it. And apparently the original version of Suicide Squad is quite good. And we all know how it got received when it came out. So there's that as well. Then same thing happened with Batman v Superman. So obviously Warner Brothers don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I've been thinking about DC and this whole DCEU thing. And I feel like DC try to be Marvel with the MCU, but without doing it. Like, they try to link movies, but they try to act like they're not trying to link movies. And so it gets this very confusing timeline of, like, this is linked to this, but it's not linked to this, or this, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they need to just pick a lane.
Yeah, like, do they just link things? Do they not link things? Like, what do they do? Do they create, like, mini-series where they link, like, 5 movies and end that whole trilogy story and then go on to another one? Like, this is what, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like at times they're just kind of like, even when I think about Suicide Squad, like, what were they trying to achieve with the changes of the movie? Like, why was it, like, I don't understand.
I don't understand either. There's so much, I'm not going to go into that movie. There's so much I can say about that movie.
Without going into the movie.
But there's, like, I think the next few years are so critical because obviously Wonder Woman had already been filmed or was close to being finished before Joker came out, yeah? And Joker is, I think we're just going to go with standalone film. It's just by itself.
We're going to say standalone for
it's
the
a
moment.
standalone film, but I think we're going to leave this open just in case they want to link it. And that's fine. That's perfectly...
That's what they did at the end, yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. I think that's okay to do. But after Wonder Woman, because I don't think you count that, that's when you have to start making the decisions as to, does Joker count? Are we making a universe, or is it just standalone films? And that's okay. They can do whatever they want. I don't care, as long as it's good. You've got to decide, are you going to connect Aquaman 2 to the rest of the universe, or are you just going to make that their own thing? Are you going to connect the Batman to the Joker universe, or whatever universe that's in, or are you just going to leave it by itself?
Don't forget we also got Birds of Prey coming out in February.
Yeah, and Birds of Prey, which technically leans into the Suicide Squad universe. And then you've also got, what's it called?
You got another Suicide Squad movie coming out.
Yeah, and that's a whole reboot on top of that one. So there's a possibility for 3 universes. But the Suicide Squad, the original DCEU, the Jokerverse, and then the new Suicide Squad universe.
I like Jokerverse, yeah.
The Jokerverse, and that's perfectly fine because I think you can link the Batman universe with the Joker universe, the new Batman movie. You can do the same thing with the Suicide Squad as well. I think that could be played really, really well. But it's just, I don't know, like...
Okay, so to add to this, if you saw Henry Cavill, they're like, yeah, we're making a new Superman movie. What universe would you want him to fall in? And, like, who would you want to be in that same universe as him?
Let's just say me or the listener?
You.
Okay.
Do you want to see him? Sorry, I'll give you a bit of a talking point to start with. Do you want to see him in the same world as Wonder Woman and all that, or do you want to see him go to like an alternate? I don't know if they can do this bullshit. I don't know much about Superman. Like, go into his alternate universe and be his own character, like his own thing on an alternate Earth or something. I don't know.
See, I think reboot Superman.
Yep.
I think reboot Superman. But when I say that, I'm kind of like, why would you keep Henry Cavill? Not that he's bad, but if you're going to reboot it, it's like you probably want something fresh. Okay, let's just say reboot it, but keep Henry Cavill. Because I think what you've done with Joker, they can really create a universe. As we've said multiple times, I think the Batman has a really good possibility to be good and tie into the Joker universe. So if that goes well, I think you can do a good job with Superman connecting into that universe, but not directly engaging with Joker or Batman for a while. So I'd probably have Henry Cavill join that universe. And I'd scrap what's already happened. Don't know what you do with Wonder Woman. Don't know what you do with Aquaman or Shazam. I've got no idea.
All right.
I don't know what you do with him. I think you just make Aquaman 2 as a sequel to Aquaman. I think you'd probably just... I mean, they've obviously already made Wonder Woman as a sequel to Wonder Woman 1. Probably just keep that separate. And then Shazam, depending on what they do with Black Adam, probably can tie Shazam into that. And then maybe Black Adam has the possibility of tying into Superman and Batman and Joker. But who knows, man? Like, it's just... I don't know. I feel like DC are probably going to lean towards going the solo movies.
Yeah, I think after the success of Joker, solo movies probably will be their way to go.
Yeah,
because I feel like they have that thing of like, oh, this did good, let's do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when they saw Batman v Superman get this amount of money as they did. They're like, oh, that's good. Let's do that again. And they did Justice League.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. And I want to see just DC succeed. But like, I feel, again, I'm going to have to agree with you. Like, I think if they go the whole new direction, Henry Cavill should not be Superman. But the problem I like with this is I really like Henry Cavill as Superman, and I don't want to see him go. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's a tough one. It definitely is a tough one.
It really is. It's a lot's open, a lot's open in the air, and DC don't do the same thing that Marvel do with D23. So we don't know until someone randomly gets asked the question.
Yeah, I reckon tomorrow you could see a trailer for a new Superman movie with a fucking new actor, and you wouldn't even
you'd have
be
no
like,
idea.
oh, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
That's all right. Anything else you want to add on to the end of this?
No, I think I'm done.
All right, fantastic. Well, this has been the Regular Size Man podcast for week 27. My name's been Sam, and this has been Jacob. If you guys did enjoy the podcast, please drop us a follow on whatever social media you are listening on. Check us out on our social medias at TRSM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.